What's up? Good morning. I'm just getting off work, and baby, when I tell you, it is so much going on right now. It is just, it's thick in the atmosphere. I don't know what's going on in y'all neck of the woods, but in these neck of the woods, baby, it's thick. It's a lot of tension. It's a lot of discord. It's a lot of just friction. I don't know. So that prepares me. I have a little story that I wanted to tell. I ain't gonna make it too long. I'm gonna try to hit the little bullet points. Then I'm gonna be about my way. But I'm like, let me just go ahead and get this little storyline out there, okay? So here we go. So last night I'm at work. I decided, I'm hungry. I'm gonna go down to the Casey's, which is, I don't really know miles like that. So let's say maybe 1 mile, 1.5 miles. I don't know, but it's not far. It's like a 2-minute drive. So I'm coming down the road, and I noticed, so the Casey's is on the right side. I look on the left side, there's 2 police trucks. I'm doing my thing. I'm minding my business. I have a license. I have insurance. My lights is working. I have my sticker, baby, and my seatbelt's on. So I am totally unbothered. I'm going the speed limit. So consciously, I'm already like, oh boy, I hope I don't get pulled over tonight. Just thinking about what ifs. But again, I'm also checking my physical P's and Q's because, like I just said, I know I'm good to go just in case I try to get a little cray with your girl. Okay. So I go in the gas station, all is well. Now you can see my hair, it's like in 2-strand twists. I have on like a black hoodie, and I have on like maroon scrub pants. They're not tight. That ain't my swag. So I could be looking a little masculine, let's put it that way, okay? So I go in the Casey's, again, I do what I need to do, make it cool, short and sweet. I come out. Mind you, like I said, I'm already aware that they are across the street, but again, no biggie. I shouldn't feel no type of way because I'm gonna follow the rules, period. So I do just that. I follow the rules. I turn left to go back to my job. So again, like I say, I'm going down the street, and I notice probably about like 15 seconds after I'm going down the street that a truck is behind me. So again, who cares? It's just a truck. I couldn't quite see what type of truck it was. I just knew a truck was behind me. Then I can, continue going this speed limit, and then the truck gets like super close to me to the point where I'm like, let me get over into the other lane so that this truck can go past me and do what they need to do. At that moment, once I got over to the other lane, I knew this was a police officer. So I'm like, wow, okay. I knew they was about to try to, get a little frisky or whatever. So I'm still doing what I'm supposed to do, being the good girl that I am. And I'm going down, and so I get into the other lane, they get into the other lane. They real close behind me. I'm just making sure I stay the speed limit, staying calm, and then they start like turning their lights off and on. So I'm like, okay, I wasn't sure if that was a signal. So since I was unsure, baby, I'm gonna proceed with what I do know, and that's to get back to work, okay? So I, keep going straight. I'm getting close up to my job. I'm about to make a left. Now I'm pretty sure that they was like, let's get her while she's still in the car. So, I don't get out the car, get out the car, yada yada. Okay, whatever. So I'm about to turn to my job. What do you know? The lights is on. Again, I already had the forewarning that it was gonna be a little issue on the line. So I'm just like, just stay calm, pray, be smart. So I pull over, I'll do everything I need to do. I roll down the window, my hands is down. They're on the steering wheel, just trying to make sure that I'm very mindful to what I'm doing in my body language. So the police officer gets out the car. He comes up on my right side, my passenger side. And, I rolled down the window for him, hello. he decides to say that he pulled me over because the lights above my license plates were out. Now again, I don't want no smoke from back the blue, okay? I'm all about the blue when the blue is doing what it do and doing it the right way. I've had my car for 5 years, at least. I don't know if my lights over my license plates have ever been in. I had to ask the man, once we're finished with this, do you mind showing me what you're even talking about? As well as, this is not my first ticket, nor is this the first time I've been pulled over at night. Now, not to bash where I was, but they have a reputation of pulling people over. Definitely people who look like your girl, you know what I'm saying? Don't blame me, blame God, okay? I had nothing to do with it. I just showed up. So I'm already, like I say, aware of, okay, that's the best we got. The light ain't over the license plate. Come on now. So there's another cop with him. You know, I've seen him in town and stuff before, and you know, it's always been positive vibes. Like, I really have nothing negative to say. I don't have anything negative per se to say about the other cop, because I feel like, I'm sure y'all doing what y'all taught to do. I'm sure y'all following y'all heart. That's all I can say. And so if that's who you is in your heart, if that's what you own, hey, who am I? You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to get away alive, okay? So, you know, nobody was rude. You know, I didn't have any, like, issues. They wasn't, like, aggressive with me. The other cop, I was actually grateful for, because, like I said, I already kind of had some rapport with him. So, you know, I think, and now I am speaking for him. I'm trying to be considerate, I'm trying to paint him in a good light, because that's how I feel. And I could be wrong, of course, but I didn't see it, so I'm going to think positive towards it. But I feel like, you know, he tried to be supportive. He tried to, you know, make sure everything was going to be okay in a sense. And which I appreciate, of course. Like, you know, he could have totally flipped and did some weird stuff, and he didn't, so whatever. But long story short, you know, they let me go. It was nothing. You know, he let me see what he was talking about. But it's just crazy to me that, like, this is still a thing. I cannot prove that I was pulled over because of my skin tone and my hair texture. But unfortunately, when scenarios like that happen, it for dang sure appears like it. And it's crazy because whenever I have been pulled over, my hair is always natural like this. It's always natural in a 2-strand twist. I've been pulled over 3 times with my hair like this. And I've been pulled over twice under the impression that, well, one for sure, where they thought that I was a black male with dreads. I'm not a male. I don't have dreads. But yeah, I am black. And they let me go. I was pulled over again a couple weeks ago. I'm going to say it was the same description. They let me go. Tonight, they let me go. And I'm blessed. Don't get me wrong. Please keep letting me go. Okay? I can't do nothing with no jail time. But it's just a dynamic that is still unsettling. It's still something that I have to take time to digest. You know, the same way that sometimes we all get labeled to be the same, it's difficult sometimes to not do the same thing back, because it's just like, you know, what do you now expect from me? How am I supposed to look at you, or people who look like you, when you looking at me, and people who look like me in a certain way? And that's not me. That's not my heart. That's not the way I'm raised. That's not the way I truly feel. But I can't say that scenarios like this don't affect, you know what I'm saying, you know, your thoughts and your feelings. And so, I don't know. I just had to share this just because I wanted to. But I also just was like, you know, just wanted to highlight the things, because one thing too, and this is personal, I'll make it quick as possible, is just like when it comes to my sons, nephews, whatever, but particularly my sons. Both of my sons have little dreads, they're certain dreads. And this is like one of the main reasons why I used to tell them, no dreads. Y'all are not allowed to have dreads. Sorry, my camera's shaking, but this was a main reason. And it's so unfortunate that, you know, we've gotten to that place. And like I say, don't get me wrong. I know, you know what I'm saying, some of us be turned up, some of us don't. I don't got nothing to say about nothing. You know what I mean? But it's just like, I wish that we could create a different dynamic and a different narrative for ourselves. And so that when we are dealing with law enforcement or the court or just public period, that because my skin is darker, because I have this type of hair, because I have on, you know, whatever, I'm not automatically put into this box of a threat. And for all of us, you know, who have kids and, you know what I'm saying, it's something that I'm sure we all are, but it's something to remain mindful about because, again, we a target, you know. And so, you know, like I said, I don't want to milk this situation because, again, overall, like I said, I wasn't disrespected per se. I didn't like it, but I didn't feel disrespected. I didn't feel, you know, the situation could have been way worse. It could have went way left. So I'm not going to bash nobody, but it just highlights our reality. It highlights our concerns. It highlights the things we have to be aware of for ourselves and for our children. And, you know, like I say, for us, we wear simple. This is a protective style, honey. I'm just trying to make sure I don't got no BBs, and you know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to do that. But I gotta be mindful to that. So I'm at work. I'm a whole nurse. Don't matter. You know what I'm saying? The thing is, I'm black first. And so that's something that you just learn to, I don't know. I think honestly, like, I'm sifting through the emotions of it. I know I'm black and I'm proud, and anybody that know me, y'all know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? But I think, again, like I say, it's more of a feeling. It's more of a reality. It's more of something that you just kind of get tired of dealing with, especially when you're not somebody that be outside. You know what I'm saying? So it's just kind of like, I don't want the smoke. I don't want the smoke with nobody. You know what I'm saying? And I definitely don't got no time to be feeling some type of way with no police. And police, it's just like, y'all gotta do better. I get it. Like, y'all don't like us, and, you know, I understand. Like, I know statistics, and I know, you know, concerns, and I know all of that. But goodness, I just, there gotta be some type of median, maybe. Oh yeah, and that was the other thing. I was asked, what was I doing over here? And again, it could have been a genuine question. But it just seems strange. Oh my goodness, my camera is bouncing all over the place. Okay, well, again, now I'm just rambling. And obviously my camera is getting wore out. So let me just kind of hold this up differently. It's life, folks. Holla.